What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about junk silver, or constitutional silver as I like to call it. So hit it. Stacking surfer. I think I'm your best friend. Balances in your bank and stack. I like to refer to silver that was minted in the United States from 1964 and earlier, dimes, quarters, and half dollars. I like to refer to those as constitutional silver. They were 90% silver. They were minted in massive quantities and used as pocket change. This is what people used for dimes, quarters, and half dollars, at least on the silver side. They would also have gold coins if you go back to 1932 and earlier. Why do I call it constitutional silver? Well, I call it that because it is constitutional to be using silver as money. As soon as we started taking the silver out of the money and the gold out of the money, it became unconstitutional money. If you take a dollar bill out, you'll see that it says Federal Reserve Note on it. It will also say that it's backed by the full faith of the United States government, which means our military, or in other words, our nukes. It's not really backed by a metal. It's not backed by anything that has any real value. It's really backed by the faith of the United States government. And right now, that's been falling for a lot of people because of the amount of debt, $34 trillion of debt we have, and growing every minute. We're getting ourselves into conflicts all over the world, and a lot of countries are not liking it. And then we've also withheld funds from countries. So that is something that has definitely changed things. Okay, I'm going to get wet. That was a bigger wave. So that's why I call it constitutional silver. Now, a lot of people refer to it as junk silver because it's stuff that people don't want anymore. It's not clean. It's usually really dirty and grimy. If you're not wearing gloves with it, your hands will get filthy, dirty. I will call them junk or constitutional, kind of depending on what I'm looking at. If I'm looking at stuff that's in good shape, AU or BU, I'll call that constitutional silver in general. But every once in a while, I'll call it junk because it's just faster to say. But when you get into the junk, for me, it's when you get into the really, really worn coins where you can't see the dates. They've got color crap on them. They've got other gummy stuff on them. It's not real cool. This is what the coins look like, right? These are the dimes. They come in a couple different designs, depending on the year that they were minted. Obviously, the ones that are in better shape, that are going to have more of the silver material because they haven't been as worn or used, are going to be the ones that were more recently minted. So you got quarters, pretty standard design that you guys are used to. But you will see some Standing Liberty quarters, which are really cool. They're older. You also see some barber quarters that are out there that are really hard to find, but oftentimes they're very, very worn. And so when you see them being completely worn, it's kind of hard to really want to buy those. But if you don't have any, I think it's kind of fun to have a couple of them. And then when you get to the half dollars, I'm mostly partial to really good looking Kennedys, but I also really like the Benjamins. So these are some of my favorites. For those of you that know Nick from Nick's Coins, we do a show every Tuesday night on her channel. And we have been doing it on Saturday night on my channel, but I'm putting those on hold right now until my girls graduate and we figure out what we're going to do there. But Nick loves the walkers. So this is a picture of the walkers. So what do these things cost? Well, the cost is going to vary all the time. When you're looking at coins that are not in uncirculated condition, BU or AU, and they have been put into the population and they have been used, you're typically going to be buying constitutional or junk silver by the dollar face value. What does that mean? That means you're looking at 10 dimes to get $1, 4 quarters to get $1, or 2 halves to get $1, obviously. So for me, what I try to get my price at is below, at least when I'm buying, I like to get it below $18. More recently, I was able to work with a wholesaler that was able to hook me up with a great deal where I got them for $16.50 per face. Now, usually if you're going to get a lower price like that, you're buying in bulk. So I bought $100 face value for that. That basically cost me $1,650, okay? Why do I think they're great? Well, number one, these are coins that have been used in circulation, so you don't have to baby these coins. You don't need to spend a bunch of money getting cases for them. You can just leave them in a bank bag. Number two, what I like is that they are real silver. They're 90% silver. So they're a little more durable than your 3/9s or 4/9s fine silver. 3, they're historical. They're not making any more of this stuff, right? A lot of people melted these coins down, so there's not as many as they were minted. Some get lost, obviously. I think they're great. I think they're great coins. Number 3, I really like that they are fractional. I typically don't buy fractional silver because it has such a high premium on it. Anytime you're paying more than 20% premium for silver, it's just too high. So for me, I've been waiting to buy that $100 face value of silver until I could find a place that I could get what I perceive to be a really good deal on it. So when I paid $16.50 per dollar face value, the going rate is right around $20 Some places may be as high as $21. If you don't have those connections, you're probably going to be looking at about an $18 face being a good deal. If you can find that, that's something I would pull a trigger on. When you're buying 3/9 fine or 4/9 fine silver and you're buying fractional, the price gets very expensive. It goes way higher than 20%. As always, this is not financial advice. So it's up to you to decide whether you're going to invest in silver or gold. I'm really here to kind of give you some options and help you understand what Sufer's doing so that you can make some informed decisions for yourself. The next thing that I really like about constitutional or junk silver is that it comes in a variety. You get a handful of different kinds of coins. And when you're buying it, oftentimes there's surprises in what you're buying. You may not be able to look through all of it. You may just be buying it in bulk. And you can sometimes find some coins that look like they're brand new and perfect, which can actually have a lot more value than the weight. I like that when you get a big bag, you have surprises in there. Sometimes you get coins that might be really close to a mint state or even a proof type state, or you might find proofs in there. And then oftentimes you'll find them a little bit more worn, but you'll find some really fun older coins. The last reason I really like them, they're highly recognizable. Everybody's going to be able to recognize a dime, a quarter, or a $half. If you flip them on the side, you can tell that they're real silver because they don't have the copper ring around them. They will sound different if you ping them. They will not be magnetized. They should test positive on most of the Sigma machines, at least the way that I've done it. Saw someone recently post a video that said they found a fake one that tested positive, so be careful with that. I recommend buying from reputable sources. Let's talk 5 tips on buying this stuff, okay? Number 1, I recommend buying in bulk. If you're only buying $1 face, you're not going to get a very good deal on it. So I recommend saving up a little bit of money to be able to buy in, increments of $50, $100. That's going to get you a lot more leverage to get better pricing. So my first tip is pool your money so you can get better prices. Tip number 2, buy from a reputable store. I just mentioned that earlier. There's a lot of them online. There's also quite a few of the local coin shops. There's going to be other people in your community that may be looking to sell. I know all of us want to stack. We want to buy more. But there are times where we get in our lives where there's an emergency or something that we need to sell. Look around. There are people on Facebook. You can go there. You can look at eBay. Sometimes people are getting rid of stuff. I'd be a little leery on eBay unless it's a big store. Tip number 3. My recommendation is to try to get the stuff that's a little bit newer and better shape because you're going to get more silver with it. If they give you the option to look through them, I definitely would not purchase ones that are grimy that you don't like. Number 5, know some key dates, okay? So you can do some research to find out which are some of the key dates, the harder coins to find. And oftentimes those will be great coins for you to be looking for. And if you find some of those, you may find out that the coin's worth $5 or $10 more than it would typically be worth, which can be great. So guys, that's my stuff for you today. And if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe and the bell icon and the thumbs up. And look at these other videos here that I think will help you in your journey with stacking. And until next time, peace out.